Good morning. Welcome up to the Stocked Up live stream today. Happy Friday. Today's a pretty crazy trading day here going on in the market. A lot of downside action so far today in pre-market trading. We can see the SPY's majority negative since this morning. It did actually gap up ever so slightly, but immediately rejected in the resistance zone. Now we're actually pushing the low from yesterday, 681.50. I think this is going to be a big level to watch for here as the market opens. If we start to see a good flush under 681.50, do not be scared to look at the SPY more to the downside today. The opportunity is looking pretty solid here. Good morning, Rick, Jose, Jake, Damo, Ramirez, Wes. So you, Good Guy, Eric, Mason, Zach Tabish, Eric, W, Toro. Let's go. Got to get pointed in the right direction. I like it, Eric. This is a pretty big support from yesterday, but given the bearish news, I think we could end up breaking this down. For those of you that don't know, the US GDP came in at 1.4%. The Dow Jones estimate was 2.5%, so it missed that by over 1%. And then other third parties, like let's say Bloomberg, they actually had the fourth quarter estimate at 2.8%. So some people were even higher than the Dow Jones estimate. I even saw some people estimating 3%, maybe even 3.1%. Lots of different numbers out there from different financial sources, but either way, on almost all of them, it's missed by a large amount here. Now, the personal consumption for the fourth quarter came right around estimates, but the PCE price index did move up a little bit to 3%. So nothing crazy on PCE, but it's still not good to see it holding high. Diaz. Stare at wall. What a name. Diaz de... Oh, I don't know if I want to say the last part. Love it, Diaz. Welcome up. Tesla. Big sell-off here this morning at market open. Not good for the Tesla bulls, but Nvidia is holding. Seeing a couple stocks ripping here today. Nvidia, Meta, Google, helping the SPY recover back up here. Amazon's even trying to go a bit. But yeah, we are seeing some movement here. I love it though, Diaz. RNG is up pretty good, the good guy said. Gosh, I'm loving this Mag 7 setup right now. Is we're just watching stocks start to rip. Helping that SPY recovery coming back into play here today. Are we going to get a full-blown recovery this morning? Because some of these tech stocks are pretty strong. This will be interesting to see if SPY can really make a solid comeback or not. I'm not leaning that way. I'm actually leaning down given the bad data, but the SPY likes to surprise, doesn't it? I would love to see support give out and create just have a solid plan in mind, a good strategy ready for when that does happen. I suppose adapt into this uptrend. You know, if you're someone that likes to make those types of moves. I like being more patient waiting. Unless you're whole thesis was looking for a support bounce today, because that definitely was nice if you tried to snipe that. Gold and silver are positive, Ramirez says. Palantir's not. 2%. Gave back all of its gains. That's a pretty bad one for Palantir today again. They've had some pretty bad moves over the shorter term. Great jump, though, by gold. That is a great move. Silver as well. About to break through the high from pre-market here today. Wow. Look at that daily chart of silver, though. It's really starting to roar back to life. I was really watching that support zone very closely for a possible flush down here over the past week or so, but we did not see that come into play. It's actually holding up for now. Maybe we will start to see gold and silver get bought back up as some of the confidence with the economy starts to fade. GDP only growing 1.4%. That's pretty bad. That's like literally showing the economy grew less than expected. Like, just like the Bloomberg article says, very first headline, the US economy grew less than expected at the end of last year. Dragged down by a record-long government shutdown, consumer spending, and trade. Definitely not good. Silver, though, now it's through resistance here today, 73.50. See if it can make a run now or not. If our economy was affected that much by the shutdown, we are in serious trouble. Not the most recent one, but the longer one recently they're talking about, yeah. Yeah, I guess if it affects it by only like 0.1 or 0.2%, I guess that's still an impact, but I feel what you mean there. A lot of bad headlines, though, this morning. Stocks fall after weaker than expected GDP data. Main headline on Bloomberg earlier on today. Let's go see what the main headlines are right now on Bloomberg Markets. Egg prices collapse as once empty shop shelves now overstuffed. What? How Jerome Powell is Trump-proofing the Fed. Oh, interesting there. Not seeing much here. Except for the GDP data news today. SPY's still bouncing here. Pretty good movement overall. Straight up from open off that support. It is pushing resistance, but so far, pretty strong off support today. I'm not going to get too bearish until support breaks unless we find some other opportunity out there, like a good resistance hit or something, but Mr. Pancake says, NVIDIA go high. It definitely tried. 188.50 starting to reject down, kind of like the SPY is intraday. Very similar price action. If we look at Nvidia in the short term, it kind of looks just like the overall market. You know, we're really failing to break past recent resistance, and we're really not getting a very good move coming through here. Not at all, really. You bullish or bearish on Nvidia earnings next Wednesday? Yeah, I was actually going to get into that in just a minute, funny enough. I always wait a little while. But earnings whispers did come out with their chart 6 minutes ago, so looks like we waited just long enough. That's awesome. Here we go. Wow, that's a pretty good earnings week, I guess. Hims and Hers, Kratos on Monday. I like that. Wow, that's huge. Cypher Mining, CIFR. Big money trade from recently. Navitas Semiconductor reporting Tuesday. That's a funny one. Tempest. Wow. A lot of growth stocks next week, guys. Salesforce, Snowflake, QBTS, CoreWeave, Rocket Lab, Mara, INOD, SoundHound, Baidu, Celsius, Vistra Energy, WBD, even Friday, U. But everyone's favorite, Nvidia, reports Wednesday and after hours, of course. That's the big boy next week. It's not the biggest week for earnings ever. The past few weeks have been much larger, but whenever you have Nvidia in there, definitely puts it up there in the ranking at least a little bit. Ooh, how's Figma? FIG? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful Figma action. You forgot there could be a ruling on tariffs. I know. I've been keeping that in the back of my mind today as well, Mason. That's another one there. I'm trying to find out when a time for that would happen. I think like 10 or 10:30. I think I'll get the time here in a second, though. Ooh, 6 minutes ago, I just saw something hit that said Trump said he's considering a limited strike on Iran. It says 10 a.m. Eastern. This is the primary window when the court will announce if they are releasing any opinions. If they do, they are usually posted online within minutes of the announcement. Backup dates. If we don't get a decision today, the court has already flagged Tuesday, February 24th and Wednesday, February 25th as additional opinion days. So they've already flagged other opinion days. That sounds great. No other headlines hitting right now, at least. Back to the SPY, though. But yeah, Figma's on fire. SPY just hit 685 resistance and the trend line. It's been very bullish so far today off that support, though. Especially for the bad data coming out. It just gave back all of the gains from the bad data move down. Almost like the market just bucked it off. Well, that's kind of exactly what it did. Bucked it off and right back up. Maiden said, I feel like the last ones were at 10:30. Were the non-rulings bullish or bearish? You know, that's a good question. I can't quite remember either exactly off the top of my head. I can't remember. I don't think it did anything, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I guess we'll see around 10. If not, then 10:30 will be the next time I look for sure.
Taking doses like
The hell? Sorry guys, I'm on a Fox News article. I'm getting ads popping up here. That was weird. I'm getting more. Oh gosh. I'm getting off there. That's why I never go on there, but they had an interesting headline I was checking out. Gonna maybe throw it up here on the stream, but they won't quit playing sounds in my ear. Gosh, isn't that annoying on websites? Seriously, like, I don't mind like a little sound or something, but quit playing the videos nonstop. Oil prices hit 6-month highs after Trump warns Iran of bad things and no deals. Let's see how crude oil futures are doing today. Wow, they just had a massive drop off and then came right back. Pretty big candle down in recovery. Looking at the daily for crude, it did really well over the past 2 trading days as the Iran news picked up, but did slow up a little bit here, it seems like. Greatest continuation we've had. AXTI just ran up flawlessly at open. AXTI. That was a good jump there for the first few minutes. 20% on the day. It moved a little bit in pre-market on earnings. Well, technically after hours last night and pre-market today, but nice move from open. Yeah, a good jump. Up 20% on the day plus, but not my favorite price action here with it pulling back pretty hard. All right. 9 minutes off from the first potential time of a ruling. White House officials said Trump's to travel to China from March 31st to April 2nd. That'll be big. Oh, Mason posted it too. How's RCAT today? Nice action. I like the movement with RCAT lately. Still watching them higher here in the short term. Possible swing. Drone company. It'd be big if we got some news. How are the banks today? Bank of America back down to straddling support. That's not the best thing to see there. Is your BKG music louder than your voice? You know, I think it actually just picked up a little bit. It wasn't louder earlier. It's not louder technically from what I'm seeing, but that's a good point. It did pick up at the pace a little bit. I'll turn it down. Dylan says it's okay. It's probably good to have it in a good medium here. How's JP Morgan today, though? Also slightly more bearish. Overall, it's been bouncing pretty well, though. Diamond's taking profits on JP Morgan. Is he? If he actually is, that would be pretty crazy. I don't remember hearing anything about that though. All right, Mag 7, here we come. SPY slowed up after that quick run there for a little while. All the stocks that were kind of helping to fuel it turned over. Apple turned over, Tesla turned over, Nvidia turned over, Google turned over. Amazon slowed down, Microsoft, Meta even stopped. So, Yeah, lots of slowdowns and turnovers here in the market. Man, JP Morgan. 297. Big support recently. If that starts to give out, things are going to get pretty worrisome on the chart for JP Morgan. Bank of America is on a big one too. So if they start both turning over, flushing through support, that'll be pretty rough. But I don't know. They've loved those supports. It's going to be tough to break those down if I'm being honest. All right, let's see if we get that potential Supreme Court ruling. We have our percentages right here on Kalshi. There's a 35% chance being priced in right now that they'll do it here. That's weird that that jumped up so much. I guess Buffett knew what he was doing when he bought Chevron. That sweet dividend. I don't think he's going for the dividend necessarily, but he'll take it. Gosh, that was a good buy. Chevron consolidated for a long time, but once it started to break out here recently, it was game on. Same for a lot of the oil stocks. A lot of them were flat for a couple years in a row almost before finally running. What a candle on SLV, Willard says. Dropped down pretty hard on those 3 1 minutes. Oh, okay. It looks like he didn't sell that much then, Dylan, but I guess he is selling a little bit. He wants to buy a new yacht. Mason said Figma pulled back. Oh, wow. Yeah, really hard. Really hard there. Now it's only up 2% on the day. That's a pretty bad pullback here. Could always be a dip buy scenario coming up, but we'll see how it shakes up. Not one I'll be looking for, really. SNDK 2.8%. Pretty decent upside move today. BTG, B2 Gold. Running with gold. That was up for around 4% a minute ago. Fastly at the top end of the watch list. Haven't looked at Fastly in a long time. Oh, wow, they had a big gap up recently, but when you look at them from their COVID move, they're still pretty far off. It reminds me of a Zoom. Ticker symbol ZM. Zoom actually still looks pretty solid right here, if I'm being honest. I love the way it's starting to bounce off of the support. It's been staircasing up in a solid way. I wouldn't be surprised if it just continued the staircase here. Buffett's trying to go out like Steve Jobs, building a yacht before he goes. Buffett. He's out already now, right? Okay, it was January 1st of this year. Okay, I thought so. Everyone said spy. Oh, gosh. The Supreme Court. Something must be happening with the Supreme Court. Or Michigan consumer sentiment, possibly. Here's some numbers that just released for you guys. I'm going to throw it up on the left side so you can still see the SPY moving as well. Ooh, so the Supreme Court issued a ruling in challenge to legality of Trump's global tariffs. Just hit. The Supreme Court rules that tariffs aren't constitutional. This is going to shake things up here, guys. This is going to shake up the market. SCOTUS rules tariffs are not constitutional. The global tariffs were struck down by the Supreme Court. That is the major headline hitting here. Huge piece of news. I guess I'll just show the stock labs, honestly. I'll just throw this up so you guys can see the incoming news as it happens. If we just sit here, we should just keep seeing them flow. $689. It got through that big zone from recently, around 686 to 688 with that massive candle. The question is, will this continue here? I do think that stocks could benefit, Elite. I could see some benefits playing out there. NKE, Michael says. You're worried about Nike when we have the SPY moving like this? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Oh, wow. Nike's moving because they're affected by the tariffs, of course. That's a big candle. How about Costco? They moved a little bit too. What are some other tariff names here? What about Race, Ferrari? Oh my God, Ferrari's popping off. Toyota. A little bit. GM. Ford. Beautiful. Who else? Big importers. Caterpillar? They moved a little bit. Walmart. Good point, good guy. Oh, they had a good initial reaction, but turned over quickly. That Nike move, though, seriously. Nice call, Michael.
All right.
Puts was a layup play from 688. Never got filled, though. There we go. SPY's right back down now. Now we have to see what Trump's backup plan is. Dangerous trading on SCOTUS ruling. That was funny, Mason. Wow, that's a big ruling, though. That is going to shake the market up here. It obviously is shooking up a lot of price action. How about NVIDIA? Oh, they initially exploded and then died. Oh, a little rough. Big drop off. Banks? Banks are moving well. Just about everything had some price action, it looks like, but Nike's still holding up pretty well. I think this would be pretty good news for them overall. What is Daimler? MBGYY. Mercedes-Benz Group. They haven't moved much, but this data might be delayed. Or they're just not traded much because they're on the OTC. Back to SPY, though. There we go. Bounced off 685. Still pointing a bit higher, I suppose. Ooh. Mason just posted another big headline that we'll see right here. Supreme Court does not address eligibility for tariff refunds. Here's the official opinion, it looks like. Which, we're not going to read the whole legal document. That's, if you want to, I'll post up a link in the chat, but I'm not going to bore you guys with that today. We'll just look at the headlines. And Iran news just hit too. U.S. military plans targeting Iran. Regime change possible. The U.S. is reportedly preparing military options against Iran, including targeting key individuals and potential regime change. Whew. Hundreds of tariff refund lawsuits pending in U.S. trade court. Oh, wow. That will be huge if they're required to do refunds. It does seem like the market's a lot more bullish than bearish here right now with the way the news has been going so far. Let's go ahead and look at the SPY in a good way here, because we're really failing to really break like the range from the past couple days. We look at the high end of the range, we look at the low end of the range, the SPY is still within the range. So far, SPY is rejecting very well off the top end of the range, but it's still pointing higher at this moment. Very strange price action, though, coming from this with the volatility all over the place. There's really no direction being picked here, but I would lean more bullish than bearish. It's weird because we have this decision coming right after that PCE data. And the GDP data showing less growth too. I'll tell you, tariffs have greatly impacted my family's business. Good morning, Tangy Man. You missed the tariff action today. The Supreme Court ruled on the tariffs. And you missed the GDP data, missing by like a whole percentage point or more. Somebody in Discord said that Trump's typing up the next Truth Social rant as we speak. Yes, you're probably right. He's drafting it right now. I'm going to be scanning Truth Social like a hawk, actually. Trump made another Truth Social post this morning about the economy. The Democrats' shutdown cost the USA at least 2 points in GDP. That's why they are doing it in mini form again. No shutdowns. Also, lower interest rates. Too late, Powell is the worst. Oh, this stuff's funny. What's this? Based on tremendous interest shown, I'll be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. What the? I didn't hear anything about that yesterday. Looks like we're going to be getting info on the aliens, guys, so watch out. Sorry, I found that extremely interesting, so figured I would read that one too. But, man, SPY's pulling back. QQQ's pulling back now, giving back the gains. A lot of uncertainty out there. Especially with these tariff refunds now. Now there's uncertainty with that. But hey, at least we get NVIDIA earnings next week. NVIDIA will be reporting on Wednesday in after hours, so be ready for that. Let's go ahead and look at the economic calendar for next week too. Wow, it looks like there's not one 3-star event next week except for Friday with PPI data. Dang, so like it's a slow week on the data side here. Let's see. Monday, February 23rd, Waller's speech. Just normal stuff after that. Tuesday, lots of Fed speakers. Wednesday, more Fed speakers. Not as much though. Thursday, initial jobless claims, which are weekly. Friday, PPI data. So really not too much next week. I think we're looking pretty solid next week as far as data is concerned. Don't have to worry about too much there. But that big earnings report is going to be the real kicker, so to say. NVIDIA. Everybody's favorite chip stock. Not favorite, but we'll just say the most popular now. At one point, I would say it was the favorite, but not 100% sure anymore. It's definitely the highest weighted stock in the S&P 500, though. If we actually go check out the S&P 500 weightings, here's what we're looking like. NVIDIA is weighted at 7.3% above Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. The only one that really comes close in percentage is Apple, 6.15%, and that's still over. It's 1.16% away. Which is still fairly far. Wow, now SPY's recovering again. This volatility is wild. Up, down, no real direction being chosen. We'll see if it ends up being more bullish or not, because that initial move looked great. Vintage said, Meta sucks. How dare you, Vintage?
How dare you?
Oh. Amazon did good. AMZN pretty awesome today until just started falling back, but yeah, that news that came out definitely impacted things quite a bit. You know, you got to be careful with the news that released there. No matter what the bot says, when the Supreme Court makes a ruling on tariffs, you got to watch out. Potentially stay on the sidelines. Where did you find Greta? What movie is that from? It's from a real life thing. I think it was her press conference or something a long time ago. All right, 1 sec, guys. I'm going to throw up Mag 7 really quickly. Wow, look at that chop. SPY and Tesla have the same exact chart. Looks pretty funny. It's like spot on. All right, 1 sec. Sorry about that. I had to down the rest of my mango smoothie there. All right. SPY looking great, though. Coming back. I like the way it's setting up for more of a bull run at the moment. Wow, that is a big move higher, though. QQQ. I love that recovery coming into play. And Nvidia's starting to come back now. Really recovering back up. Microsoft's chopping with SPY. Apple, the other big boy, close to the high of day. Nothing too great, though, if I'm being honest. What levels for SPY should we watch for, Candu said. SPY 689. That's going to be the biggest level to watch for. It's the high of day from yesterday. It rejected there today too already. Looks better on a 5-minute. Hang on. There we go. Go adjust that a little bit. Huge resistance there at 689. That's definitely what I'm watching for, you know, a much larger breakout to come into play. Greta's my alter ego. Oh no. You know what they say about trusting Greta?
60% of the time, it works every time.
Cost is never happy like Greta is. COST down on the day. They didn't move up very much from that tariff ruling either. They did just a little bit, but... Ooh. Ooh, that's big. Happy weekend, Demure. Have a great one, man. See you later. Have a great end of the week and great Friday. Thanks for joining up as always. Ooh, I might make an omelet today, Demure, just in your honor. But I don't have any vegetables, so I don't know. PANW is moving slowly, Ramirez says. Palo Alto. Didn't they have earnings? Okay, they had earnings on Tuesday. They're trying to recover up from earnings. They're actually moving, and they are setting up pretty well on the day. They're slowing down a little bit, but overall, it's been pretty solid. Moving slowly higher, yeah. I like it. All right, all right. Wonder if we'll have to wait another 10 days for the refund decision. Ooh, maybe so. We have to wait on that Iran strike too, potentially. But I keep hearing that Trump's weighing a limited strike, and you know we could end up seeing a pullback there on a limited strike. Uh-oh, Jake, that sounds fun. Be safe. A real nail biter if the SPY will be green for the week or not. Is it really close? Let's check. I didn't even notice that. Are we going from Monday's open or Tuesday's open technically? Looks like it's going to end up green. As long as SPY closes above 681.50 today, we're going to be green. Because on Friday, at the end of the day, the SPY sold off, which helped. Trump said, I have a backup plan for the tariffs after the ruling. That backup plan is going to be very interesting here. Changes to the PDT rule are being determined in April, sources are saying, Dylan says. Now that's pretty interesting too. The PDT rule. I know that's been a big deal for a lot of people. I think that they're lowering it to like $3,000 or something. It is kind of silly how high it is, if I'm being honest. I think that it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? The reason why I think it's a bad thing... All right, we'll start with the good thing. The good thing is it keeps traders from over trading. That's one of the big issues there. It keeps traders from over trading who don't really have the capital, who probably don't have the experience. Now, at the same time, everybody just tries to get around it. Now, the bad thing is that, number one, everybody tries to get around it in weird ways. And this can cause other issues. You know, getting around it in weird ways. You know, you could be trying to trade like cash accounts and forcing weird trades and doing weird... having very weird strategies that probably aren't the best because you're just trying to skirt the rule, right? Maybe multiple accounts with like less money in each account, which could be fine, but there's just lots of different things that go on that you have to account for, right? And it can make your trading a bit different, you know, not as good, you know, like you can't even... Like, let's say that you are subject to PDT, and let's say you're on a margin account. You know, you're trading, you're trading the SPY up. Let's say you're trading it to the upside, but you know it hits resistance, and let's say you take a little bit of profits on some calls, but you know now you want to get in for like the reversal play, right? You can't do that because you can't have the extra day trades, right? Maybe you're trading the stock up and it reverses on you. And then you sell, but then a couple hours later or maybe 30 minutes later, something like that, an uptrend starts to confirm and you want to re-enter, right? And you can't do that because of that. I think that there's a lot of limitations, and I think it's good to shift it in my eyes. But I definitely see the argument for keeping it too. It'll be interesting to see how it ends up shaking out. I don't know what that one is. Oh, was that investing.com, Mason? Oh, they're always late to the game and they probably just worded it weird. Yeah, they're always late. They're never like on time with it. Trump says the SCOTUS ruling's a disgrace. Yeah, seriously. Dylan says, I think 2000's too low. Too many crash out traders would mess up price action and blow up more than funded Forex accounts. I personally believe it should be set around 5K to 10K. I think 5,000 would be a good number. I think I heard him throwing out like 2 to 3. I can't quite remember exactly, but that'll be an interesting thing to hear the number when it does finally come out. I wish they would have done that when I was like 17 years old. Tesla's recovering back here. Trying to pop back up intraday. SPY's all over. Still very, very shaky at the moment. Fire those guys. Investing.com. I'm going to call him up and yell at him for that one. I'm going to be like, you're confusing us out here. Bostic with the Fed says he thinks neutral is perhaps 1/4 to 1/2 percentage point below current policy rate. Live shot of the herd in McDonald Islands. What the? Sometimes these guys on X who post up stock news post up the weirdest stuff. And Financial Juice just double posted the same post. What's going on today with these guys, Mason? What is going on? Tesla might break through 411.30 here. If it does, we could probably see a better run. QQQ looks like it's pointing up a bit better than the SPY was. No. The SPY ended up popping back too. Past couple minutes. Again, more up, down, up, down. Yeah, I know, Mason. I was like, what the heck? Lots of posts there. Clogging it up. Let's go look at some more Bloomberg articles today. We already knew about GDP. They split 6-3 in striking down the tariffs. Democratic statements are pouring in celebrating this ruling, but we'll be watching for Republican leaders, including whether they try to codify some of Trump's tariffs in a reconciliation package. Says that they could get a budget bill like that to pass, actually, but it'd be hard to. Senator Elizabeth Warren said the ruling can't undo the massive damage she says the tariffs did to businesses, supply chains, and prices, but said refunds shouldn't just go to large corporations who can afford to sue. Any refunds from the federal government should end up in the pockets of the millions of Americans and small businesses that were illegally cheated out of their hard-earned money by Donald Trump. I'll tell you what, that's not the worst statement ever. I wish my family business could sue for all the money that we've had to deal with for this. There's no way we're suing, though. I'll tell you that. Not with the way things have shaken out lately. Thoughts on Exxon today. Surprised it's almost down 2%. ExxonMobil. Big drop to the downside. Daily chart. Big turnover here. That is a massive daily candle. Down 1.9%. He says, thoughts on Exxon today. Surprised it's almost down 2%. You know, I am too. I would have thought that with some more of this Iran news that we would have seen oil and these oil stocks do slightly better today. But I guess if we think about it, they can't go up every day, right? Can't go up every day. But I am looking for the strikes to potentially impact it over the weekend. I am really on the fence, and I'm throwing on the tinfoil hat a bit, but Trump could end up striking this weekend. You know, there could be a more limited strike that they've been mentioning to try and persuade Iran to go the way that they want. And that'll be a big topic here, a big talking point heading into this weekend is going to be that potential strike, especially considering that we just had two huge things hit with the PCE, GDP, and then the Supreme Court ruling, of course. So a lot going on here all at one time. Too bad the weather cooled off by me again. It would have been a good day, or good weekend, I should say, to go play some golf. I don't have time on Fridays, but Saturdays and Sundays I do. Oh my gosh, it's gonna even snow tomorrow here. What the? Oh, never mind. Only 10% chance. Yeah, getting cold again, though. 17 degrees next week, and it was 70 this week. What the? This isn't what I voted for, Coconut said. My source says Trump will wait till after the Olympics for a strike. Not that things change. Not that things can't change. Wow, okay, Rick. I don't know what your sources are, but that's pretty interesting. SPY's starting to get higher now, pushing back towards the high of the day. It pushed above this little resistance here intraday for a split second and then fell back off. Tangy Man says, my sources say we strike Iran right after the market closes tonight. That probably wouldn't be the worst timing. Coconut said, my source is Tangy Man. Obviously, guys, we're just throwing out wild guesses here. For those of you listening in. There we go, Tesla pushing up again. Helping get that market higher. Looking at Mag 7, everything's starting to point back up here. Looking pretty good market-wide for a possible SPY continuation here on this ruling and all the data from this morning. Nvidia is moving nice, 189.50 plus. New high of the day for Nvidia, 0.9%. I believe it's a new high of the day. Yeah, it is. Well past pre-market highs. Good continuation here, guys. Those of you that are following that initial bull move are probably very happy right now, given the way SPY's pointing back up. Nice slow chop higher, but very nice. Yeah, it's really not a bad take, Mason, after close. I believe that that's been done before. One sec. Everything Trump does is after close. There is a lot of big events like that for sure. 3:01 p.m. CST. Right whenever we all get off to go to the store for Friday night dinner. You're making Philly cheesesteaks. That sounds good. I'm trying to actually come up with something. Funny enough, I'm going to have to go to... Well, they don't have the grocery stores by me, but I'll just look at Walmart stocks. Man, Walmart really pulled back here today, guys. Earnings didn't go well yesterday. Pulling back again. They're selling off a bit here, I guess. You know, makes sense given they were a bit overextended. They were up quite a bit if you go to the daily chart. Apple was up a lot. PANW keeps grinding up, Ramirez says. Palo Alto. PANW. Now, that is a good jump. I actually like the way Palo Alto is moving intraday, 4.2%. I know it was getting slow earlier, but it continued to slowly grind higher, which is nice. Like it, Ramirez. First time trying it, and you're doing the shaved ribeye? Beautiful. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Are you doing it on like a flat top, flat iron or something like that? Mason Nichols is in for a treat. Yeah, I really got to figure something out for myself, though. I'll figure that out later, though. I can't copy Mason, though. You'll ship one to the house for a welcoming gift. There we go, Mason. Hell yeah. Have your pet hawk come deliver it to me. That would be the best way. SPY needs to reach 691 plus, Eric says. I need new undies. What? 691 plus. Are you trading intraday? Are you trading 0 DTEs, Eric? Ooh, a delivery drone. Even better. Catch it. Those videos are funny whenever people deliver like Subway to like farmers out of like an airplane. That stuff's pretty hilarious. Man, 689 on the SPY, starting to test, if not break here. SPY's had a lot of good price action since that Supreme Court ruling hit. We had a good jump with the SPY, but it chopped around for a bit, now pointing up. Yeah, not too bad. Really, not too bad at all. Great dip buying opportunities on the way up here. SPY is in such a weird position right now. Look at this, the sheer chop that has ensued with SPY since that all-time high hit. at 698.35. This has been the definition of chop. I must say, though, with today's move, if we really do solidify a good close today and close like well above 690, it's going to be looking like an all-time high test could be coming pretty soon next week. You know what this actually is setting up like? It's like a SPY inverse head and shoulders pattern. We can see down here the overall head. We got the shoulder levels. Now we just need SPY to get back up to resistance, if not even break it. Like a long, drawn-out head and shoulders pattern. You were smarter today, Eric said. It's a Monday expiration. Oh. So at least it's a little smarter. $691 could be doable today. Could be doable. Big resistance, though. Looking at the earnings for next week again, for those of you that have missed it earlier today. Nvidia is the big boy reporting Wednesday and after hours. Monday, there isn't too much in pre-market. In after hours Monday, though, Hims and Hers is going to report, which will be a fun one, along with Kratos, KTOS. If we look at Hims and Hers, Hims and Hers does look solid here. Hims and Hers on the daily is pretty scary. It needs a turnaround, seriously. Chansey says, why is Nike dropping? That is a strange pullback from that tariff move, I must say. It might provide a good buy the dip opportunity, but very strange. Tangyman's looking at a vet tonight. 72 Stingray. Needs a windshield and interior work and paint. Yeah, you can find those pretty cheap, can't you? I know like the 70s ones are pretty... Yeah, like I found some pretty cheap here. Hell yeah, Tangy. That could be a fun one. $3,200, not bad really for something like that. That's pretty cheap. Elite says Exxon still bleeding too. XOM down a lot. Wow. 2.4% down straight from open. They got very overextended on the daily though, so we have to expect some volatile candles eventually. It'll be interesting if we get some good oil news and it's a good buy the dip opportunity here. Oil's looking pretty good on the weekly. Of course, today on the daily, it pulled back just slightly, but Meta's moving, they're saying. Let's see, Ramirez. 1 minute, 663 coming up. No kidding, that is a good intraday breakout there by Meta. Huge intraday run. Keep this on the radar right now for momentum, guys. Meta is the best mover of the Mag 7 that I've seen at this second. A lot of them are doing good, though. Tesla starting to break out. Microsoft, Amazon, everything's looking pretty solid today. I think SPY's going to end up breaking 689 here, given the overall movement that we've seen. MSFT, $400. Starting to test here intraday. SPY's getting closer to 689. Top left chart. Good PA ensuing. Market is heating up here. I like it. Let's go. I'm glad that the tariff ruling got some bullishness going at least. A lot better than the chop that we've been seeing the past couple weeks, but it'd be nice to really break that high of day now. That would be where I call it the cherry on top, right? Where we finally do get that good breakout going. Go over to Tesla here, which was the better mover. And Meta's all over the SM bot, though. Amazon, too. Coinbase. Is Coinbase moving? Wow, Coin is on fire, guys. 5.3%. Check out Coinbase and... yeah, MSTR is starting to look good too. Check out these two stocks today for possible opportunities into the afternoon. Bitcoin's doing great. It's loving this recovery. It could be better, but it's still looking fantastic so far. Wow, let's get it. What a run. Man, there we go. Tesla 415. Is it going to break through, though? That's the big question. $1 million question on the day. SPY's still stuck, too. It'll probably come with some time here. We just have to be patient. I don't really see a full-blown sell-off all the way back down or anything. It wouldn't be surprising given the volatility lately, but I don't see that. Open Door is up 11%. Do they have earnings? Yeah, they did last night. Shopify recovering up a bit. How about Adobe today? Not too bad. I'm checking out some of these software stocks. Moody's is MOC, right? MO? MCO, that's it. Nothing big with Moody's. SNDK looks nice intraday. Taiwan Semiconductor has been explosive up to 371. Keep your eyes on Nvidia, which has been moving great too. SPY's really having trouble at resistance here. Microsoft at $400. Rejecting down at 400 though. Failing to break. It seems like a lot of the Mag 7 is running up into some big resistance at this very second here. Everything's all hitting at once. Microsoft's starting to pull back in a pretty good fashion, actually. An insider mentioned Nvidia? What do you mean by that, Dylan? Let's go back to Meta. Pulling back as well, just like everything else at this second. Pretty big pullback too, I must say. It's not just like a little slight pullback or anything like that. It's pretty harsh. Microsoft is saying, screw it, you go Windows 11 because we're shutting Windows 10 down. Does that mean my backup PC is not going to work now? That's annoying. Microsoft being more of a software company has been getting hit hard with all the AI rhetoric lately. They're starting to honestly get enticing for a longer term buy. It'll still work, but no updates. Oh, well, that's fine. Awesome. Now I don't have to update crap anymore. I love it. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes it's good. Normally, updates cause more problems for me than it helps, but... Gets slow with no updates, though. Does it? Normally the updates I felt like made them slower. That's gonna suck if it does get slow with no updates. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Coconut. It's the pain of Tangy Man's existence. All right, guys. Well, the market's starting to get a little bit slow here intraday. It's Friday. We're starting to test a big resistance here at 689. I hope everybody's had a fantastic end of the week. I'll say with all the news and updates today, it made for a pretty fun stream. A lot of huge events, a lot of big events coming up next week as well. Not as many on the economic side of things, but on the earnings, we have Nvidia coming out. Earlier this week, Trump said 10 days from now they're going to make a decision on Iran. Maybe there will be limited strikes before that decision even hits. But yeah, it's going to be good. I hope everybody's a great weekend, though. We're going to go ahead and call it there for today. I hope to see you in the rest, or I hope to see you in the Discord for the rest of the trading day today. If not, hey, go get out there and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. I hope to see everybody back here for next week. If you're looking to get a bit more of an edge on the market, check out the trading floor link that I'm sending in the chat and description down below. Check out that link. Use code BIGMONEY for a yearly discount right now. Big Money, you'll save $100 on yearly. A lot of fun updates coming over the next few weeks, too. Alrighty, guys. Have a great rest of the day. I can't wait for NVIDIA next week. And I will see you all Monday. Have a great one.